Okay, you guys, now I have the cabbage in over here in the sink. I'm using my bowl and I am washing the cabbage. I'm using a little salt water. I'm going to wash it probably at least 3 times. And I'm going to tell you what, they were clean. I cleaned them before I stored them. Those cabbage heads were in my refrigerator in a large Ziploc bag for about a week or so. And I finally got around to to cook them. I just had to find a day where I have the time to make a home cooked meal. And sometimes, just like many people, you don't have the time to make a home cooked meal from start to finish. So today it was one of my easy Mondays, and I am going to cook cabbage. I'm going to have some barbecued pork chops and barbecued ribs, but it's going to be oven barbecue. I'm going to let you see that also, but I just wanted you to see the greens. These are cabbages, and I grew these. This is stonehead cabbage from my garden. Okay, in this pot over here, I have chicken broth, and I have some smoked, I think it's pork butt. That's what I'm seasoning my cabbage with. The meat I'm seasoning with. I bought it at the store, at the deli area, already smoked. I've done it before with my collards, and it has a really good smoky flavor, and I like the taste of it. So if some of the meat is falls off into the greens, and you can just eat a bit of it with the greens. Okay, so that's what I do. Now I'm going to start adding the greens in layers, the cabbage. So the first layer, and then I'm going to sprinkle seasoning directly on top. And I normally like some sort of fat, and you can use like bacon fat or bacon drippings. I don't prefer bacon drippings. So what I use, and what my sister has used, is butter, like just margarine, like a vegetable spread. So I'm going to put a layer of that. That's the fat that I'm going to add to the greens. It just adds more flavor. It makes it tender also. So I'm going to sprinkle a layer of seasoning on top and the butter. Okay. So I have like an all-purpose seasoning. I have a little garlic. I have, like I said, all-purpose seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, and then I just have my vegetable spread. I say butter, but it's not. It's like a margarine or vegetable spread, and that's going to add a little fat to it. Okay, so I can actually add another layer. If this was a thicker layer of cabbage, then I would let it cook down and then add another layer. Okay, but since I just put a little thin layer on there, I can add more cabbage right now. So I'm going to do that. Just add another layer of cabbage. Remember, this was washed several times. I hope you can see. I don't have my stand yet. I haven't gone through all my stuff. So I don't have my little camera stand, so I'm holding the camera. So I apologize if it's a bad shot, okay? But I just added a second layer of the cabbage, and then I'm going to cover it and let it cook down. Okay, I just want to let you know I also added, it's not just like your powdered seasoning, like a seasoning oil, or there's another one that I like, and I'll show you the bottle. Look at this. I like this. Okay, I use that on almost everything. Okay, so I added some of that too because it has a lot of different seasonings in it. When you use a seasoning, all or all-purpose seasoning, it just has a little bit of everything. It's going to have celery, it's going to have onion, garlic, paprika, all of that in there. So it's good to have like a really good all-purpose seasoning. And then some people still want to add onion powder, garlic powder, or actually real onions. And I actually did. My chopped seasoning, I use that in my greens too. So I put a layer of chopped seasoning on there, and I'm letting it cook. See, it should be cooking. I should have it covered, and it should be cooking. But I'm just steadily adding just layers and layers of flavor and greens, and just letting it cook down. And I don't like to cook my greens to mush. So let me keep going. Here, you guys, it has a ways to go as far as cooking, and it does not take a cabbage long to cook. And remember, I told you I don't like my cabbage cooked to mush. I like it to have just a little bit of spring to it. But I just wanted you to get a look at it at this stage where you can see. Remember the meat that I had, that pork steak, that smoked pork steak that I had in the bottom, just for flavor. You see how it's falling apart. Plus, I didn't show you, but I added some. I found some ham that I just purchased in the refrigerator, so I put little bits of ham in there too, just to add more meat and more flavor to the greens. Okay, but I just wanted you to see how that little pork steak is going to break down, and you'll just have little shreds of well seasoned pork inside the greens. And so when you grab a forkful and you get some of that smoky meat, it's really good. Okay? All right, you guys, I have some pork chops. They're thinly sliced pork chops, just a few of them. And also my ribs. Now, the reason why this rack of ribs is cut in half is because I brined them and they couldn't fit in my brine bowl. So I kind of just sliced just a little bit so it can fit down in my brine bowl. If you know what a brine is, basically it is salt and sugar, salt, sugar, lemon, peppercorn, bay leaves, garlic. It's a solution that you soak your meat in to actually make it more tender and give it more flavor. So I probably did not need that with these ribs, but I did it anyway. Okay, so you can season them without brining. It was just something I did. Okay, and so what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to try to record, is I'm going to remove this membrane off the back of it. Yeah, so I'll remove the membrane off the back of it and maybe even score it a little bit. This is the membrane, and I'm just going to pull that off. I can't do it with one hand, but yeah. And then I should have some gloves on or something, or a paper towel. If you have a paper towel, it'll help you grip that membrane and just tear it off. And then I'm going to season it using like mustard as a binder. And a binder meaning is it helps the seasoning adhere to the meat. And then I'm going to use like my all-purpose seasoning. And one thing, I'm doing my ribs in an oven, so they're not going to have that smokiness from a grill. So I will be using like smoked paprika. I don't use liquid smoke. I don't like the taste of liquid smoke, but I think you will get the smokiness from the smoked paprika. Okay, so I'm going to start doing that. See if I can record it, because like I said, I'm having a hard time without my camera stand. Remember, the mustard is a binder, but I actually feel like it adds a little flavor too. Okay, so, oh, and I did remove the membrane. Okay, and I'm going to do another thing. I will score the back of it, especially right before I season it. I'm going to just score it right here in between the rib bones. Okay, so when I say in between the rib bones, I mean right here. Scoring it just a little slice like that. I'll hold it up and let you see it afterwards. Make sure it's right between the rib. Here. Okay, I'm gonna hold it up so you can see. You see that? Just scoring it. Okay. Probably may not need to do it with this one, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That's the little end of the rib. These are spare ribs. Normally, I like baby backs, but the spare ribs were on sale, child. Because I did brine it, so I'm gonna lightly season it. I don't want to overdo it. Back and front. I gotta be careful with this because the there's no shaker. It's just open at the end. So just to give it a little smokiness, because I am not using liquid smoke. Like I said before, I'm not really fond of the taste of liquid smoke. So that's going to help with smokiness. Now, one thing I learned, not to rub it in. Pat. Oh, and get the sides. Pat. Not rub. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing to that little end. Put it right here. I have my pork chops over there. So I'm doing the same thing to that little pork end. It's just the end of the ribs. I'm calling it a pork end, but like I said, I couldn't fit the whole thing in my little bowl, my brine bowl. I need to put this. This is one of my favorite seasonings. I really need to put it in a shaker. Okay, let's see. Let's do it this way. I'll put it in my hand like that. Pack up. Smoked paprika. Make sure you get the ends. All right. Okay. Okay, now this is the seasoned rack of ribs. I actually put them back together, you see. So now it's the full rack. Okay. I put a little oil on the foil so it won't stick. They do actually have non-stick foil, but I don't think this is what I have. But then you wrap it, okay? So it's like a little envelope or a little burrito. Looks like I'm gonna need another piece of foil to go right in the middle there. Okay. I'm trying to do this with one hand, y'all, so bear with me. All right. Okay, and I'm gonna put another piece right across here.